Born in Helsinki, Finland, on May 1, 1952, and the youngest of 5 siblings, Eric came to Canada in 1953. His biological father, Walter, was a German Jew who escaped to Finland in the early 1940s. He eventually immigrated to Canada and worked in uranium mines before sending money to his family to join him. Unfortunately, the kids were orphaned shortly after arriving in Canada, when his mother died of a massive stroke and Walter didn't have the resources to take care of them. After spending 5 years in 12 foster homes, Eric and one of his brothers, Wilhelm Robert, finally found an adoptive family in April 1958. Eric's lifelong love of music stemmed from his uncle, who played a honky-tonk piano covered in white leatherette, and his fascination with photography came from his father. While growing up, Eric played semi-professional piano at a grade 10 level at the Claresholm Airport restaurant. When Eric was 16, his adoptive mother died from breast cancer. Fast forward to 1975, and his cousin, now retired paramedic Jim McCracken, convinced Eric, who was working at the Red Deer Hospital, to apply to the newly formed Fire Department Ambulance Service, and he was hired on November 11th. As a City of Calgary sponsored student, Eric worked day shifts on weekends and all night shifts while attending the SAIT paramedic course. His son Troy was born in 1976, and he graduated as a paramedic in 1978, immediately contributing to his new profession by sitting on the Conduct and Competence Committee with the Ambulance Personnel Association of Alberta. The next 5 years proved to be some of the most tumultuous in the history of Calgary's ambulance services, and with key union executives Ed Moffat and Paul Mork, Eric found himself on the front lines pushing his new career for recognition and autonomy from the fire department. His union activity resulted in a Herald front-page story on February 6, 1982, for which he was summarily fired, but rehired within 24 hours when it was pointed out that he was a union executive and simply doing his job. The day he appeared in the paper was also the day his father died. Eric was 29, and that same weekend he was offered a position teaching in the paramedic program at the Northern Alberta Institute of Technology, which he turned down. Not content to rest on his laurels, Eric contributed to the Registered Emergency Paramedics Association of Alberta, now the Alberta College of Paramedics, and then in the fall of 1985, he helped put STARS Air Ambulance in the air with paramedic colleagues Ken King, Gino Savoya, and Dr. Greg Powell. In 1985, a young Ellen Gass met Eric as her first paramedic preceptor while a student in SAIT's paramedic program. Though there was a mutual attraction, and the rumor that firefighter Mike Crawford dumped a pail of water over the amorous couple on the couch at No. 2 Fire Hall can be confirmed, Ellen headed to Banff to work after graduation in 1988, and didn't see Eric again until August 1993, when they worked a shift together after Ellen was hired by Calgary EMS. They soon moved in together and married in November 1998. In March 1994, while working a particularly messy call with his beloved STARS, Eric contracted hepatitis. As a paramedic, Eric was very aware of the need to donate blood, and since he had a fairly unique blood type, he religiously donated every 6 months. In consultation with his physician, Eric decided that, as the effects would not likely appear for another 25 years or so, and since the cure rate was relatively small, having the virus was preferable to attempting a cure, which was often unsuccessful and described as brutal in its effects on the body. In 2007, Eric suddenly became quite ill and was surprised to find that his liver was now deteriorating at an accelerated rate. He was passed over to the liver transplant team for assessment and, after an intensive 18 months of therapy, they felt Eric stood a good chance at surviving the surgery. So in April of 2010, he was placed on the transplant list. Many people came to his assistance, but were disqualified for a variety of reasons. Through a chance encounter, it was at this time that Jim Lawson, a Lethbridge businessman who possessed the same blood type as Eric, offered to donate part of his liver to Eric.